Hey YouTube, it's your boy D7 here, and this is my video on the new Snowbreeze 2.0 firmware alongside the new iReb as well. Now I need you guys to listen up real closely now. These are the rules of the game. This is what your device needs to be running on before you even build and then implement the custom 4.1 firmware. Okay guys, so I'm going to run down the list of what device and what that device needs to be on for this to work. So let's start off with the iPod Touch 1st Gen. This can be jailbroken on any firmware. Okay, iPod Touch 1st Gen jailbroken on any firmware, you're good to go. iPod Touch 2G non-MC jailbroken on any firmware, or if you are not jailbroken, you can choose to use iReb. Okay. Now I will show you how to use iReb. So iPod Touch 2G, you can be on any firmware, jailbroken, or if you're not jailbroken on any firmware that you may be on, you can then choose to use iReb, which will put your device in a pwned state for then to upload the custom firmware. So iPod Touch 2G MC model must be on 3.1.2 firmware. Does not need to be pre-jailbroken. Okay. iPod Touch 3G must be on 3.1.2 firmware. Doesn't need to be jailbroken, but there is a special checkbox on expert mode when building custom IPSW, which I will show you as I'm running through the build. iPhone 2G can be on any firmware, does not need to be pre-jailbroken. iPhone 3G can be on any firmware, jailbroken, or again you can use iReb to put it in a pwned state. iPhone 3GS old boot ROM has to be jailbroken on any firmware. Okay, if you are jailbroken on Spirit or Jailbreak Me, you must add this source into Cydia. Okay, and it's http://repo.woowiz.net, and then you need to search for the Spirit to pwn, and I will show you. Just for the old boot ROM 3GS users, you will need to go into Cydia. Now although it does say jailbroken on any firmware, I found that this works best when testing with 3.0 firmware. Okay, and we just need to go to manage, sources, edit, add, and then it's repo.woowiz.net. Okay, and then you need to add the source. Then we come to search, and then you will need Spirit to pwn. Okay, you install that and you're good to go. Your device is ready to then click restore in iTunes to the custom firmware, which I'm about to show you how to build. iPhone 3GS new boot ROM must be on 3.1.2, non-jailbroken, doesn't need to be jailbroken. There is a special checkbox in expert mode when building custom IPSW. Questions you might have: yes, Snowbreeze will retain your baseband / will not update your baseband. So if you're on a baseband that you can unlock, you will still be able to unlock that when you update to the custom 4.1 firmware. Hacktivate. This will activate your iPhone without a SIM card, so you will get a hacktivation with this. And again, on 4.1, if you retained an unlockable baseband, you can use UltraSnow again to unlock your phone. Okay, right, so we have Snowbreeze and we have iReb. So let's go with Snowbreeze and let's start to build this custom IPSW that we will now upload to our device. So we want to click OK and we want to check next. Again, always use expert mode because you're following the instructions. And then we want to select the IPSW. Now I will have a link in the bottom bar to a site where you can download the 4.1 firmwares for your respective device. I'm going to go with the iPhone 3GS 4.1 firmware. Okay, and again it's going to have a pop-up here on the old boot ROM and the new boot ROM. So we just want to click I understand, next, and this is where we build. So general, next, click on general. This will take you through the checklist. Remember when I was talking about for you new boot ROM, 3GS new boot ROM, there's a special check which you will need to check here. So if you're building this IPSW on a new boot ROM, you will need to check this. Use iBooty method 3.1.2, and that is for new iPhone 3GS boot ROM users. Okay, so I'm going to uncheck that because this is on old boot ROM, and this is where you'll see the check for the new iPod Touch 3G as well. You will have a special check. So of course we can activate the phone, we can enable background wallpaper, enable battery percentage, native multitasking, and we can make IPSW NOR only, so replace boot logos. But we're not worrying about that, we're just building our IPSW. So we can click next, next again, and I'm not going to add any sources. I'm just going to, we can change boot logos, so I'm going to go ahead and change my boot logo to the one that I made, and then I'm going to click next, and then when we're done there we can click build IPSW and then next again. Now all the information I've just said will also be down here. If you need to downgrade your device, I will have the downgrade video in the bottom bar here, followed with every bit of information you need to know, plus of course the link to iHateSnow site where you can download the new Snowbreeze 2.0 and the iReb. Okay, so once we've done, of course we'll get the pop-up Snowbreeze telling us we're done, and it will automatically save the custom IPSW to your desktop, and it will be named Snowbreeze, so you won't be able to mix it up with any other firmwares you might have saved. So the next thing I'm going to show you, of course, is the iReb. Okay, for iPod Touch 2G non-MC models and iPhone 3G users, I'm going to show you how to put your device in a pwn state. So this is if you're not jailbroken and you'd rather just put it in a pwn state so that you can bypass and implement your custom firmware. Just quit out that. Okay. So this is iReb, so I want to open that, and of course make sure that your device is connected, and you can either have the online mode or the offline mode, which requires you to be on 3.1.2 firmware. The online mode requires you just to be on, I guess, any firmware. So well, I can show you now. I'm on 4.0 plus, so you can see that I've got the background there. So I'm going to click on online, select my device, and then it's going to show me that I need to stick it into DFU mode. So I'm going to put that there. Home button and power button, 10 seconds, and this does give you the pop-ups letting you know what you need to do. Let go of the power button and keep your thumb on the home button, and I'll show you what's going on as I'm doing this. And it's okay if iTunes pops up. Okay, so now we are in a pwn state. So this means we can now bypass by implementing our custom firmware. And again, that was for iPhone 3G and iPod Touch 2G non-MC model users. Now I'm going to show you how to implement the custom firmware, which is very simple, because once you've got to this stage, this is the easy bit. So I've just popped in my iPhone 3GS. Okay, and once iTunes recognizes it, I want to click on the device, and then I'm going to shift left mouse click on restore. So shift left click together on restore, and what this will allow us to do is search for our custom firmware. So of course it's the 3GS. And there you have it, guys, and that's exactly why I didn't put a SIM card in here, so you could see that it gets Hacktivation without a SIM card, so it bypasses that. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this. It's been a tough video to make. It's your boy D7 as always. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this and it helped you. Watch it maybe more than once, and please read the video description on how to set up your device before you upload the custom firmware to it. Cheers guys, and I'll catch you real soon.